know we can do this together because I know this. There's nothing beyond our capacity.
Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, these complete, absolute dunderheads are who the World Economic Forum and the Illuminati bankers and aristocrats want in office. Why? Because they really are stupid. They're willing to sell out their country and destroy humanity. Welcome to the Prepared Mind channel, folks. Are you ready for what's coming next? I'm not talking about what I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about out there in the world. What is coming next? Welcome to the show. If you're on the preparedmind.club, you paid $2 a month and you get to be here live every day asking questions. Same with subscribestar.com. It only costs $2 to be a premium member and support the show. So for today, for right now, if you're here live, get your questions down below in all caps, please. I'm flying solo today, all by myself, and I'm not afraid to do it, folks. No siree. If you're catching this on YouTube, be sure and subscribe. Be sure and thumbs up. It is important, and it makes YouTube very angry. Now, are you prepared? Do you have food for an emergency? Do you have water for an emergency? Is your shelter, your home, your place of refuge good for an emergency? What about clothing? Do you have the proper clothing for an emergency? How about medication in the event of a medical emergency? Are you good? First aid, antibiotics, potassium iodide for nuclear war, and of course, self-defense. But let's back up the train a little bit. Nuclear war. I bet if you watch CNN and NBC and ABC and CBS and MSNBC and CNBC and Butt Dart NBC, I bet you would not hear what I'm about to tell you. And they certainly wouldn't give you any commentary to let you know how dangerous this is. The country of Ukraine, under the supreme leader, Volodymyr Zelensky, the same skinny jeans wearing, light in the loafers, fruit salad tossing, faggot, who runs that country and has outlawed Christianity. That's right. The Eastern Orthodox Church is no longer allowed in Ukraine. That's a complete destruction of religious freedom. Free speech completely destroyed. Right to keep and bear arms, only if you're one of his Nazis. There are no rights in any country that doesn't have freedom as its foundation. Now, what am I talking about Ukraine for? Why did I mention nuclear war? Because Ukraine, with this little, short, tiny, homosexual Nimrod at the helm, has launched a kamikaze drone attack. Multiple drones sent to hit Russian soldiers? No. Sent across the Russian border into Kursk? No. They are sending this huge, massive drone attack, and it's already happened, into Moscow. That's right, folks. Volodymyr Zelensky is now attacking Moscow, the capital of Russia. Well, where did he get these weapons of war that can do that? Well, the United States government in Washington, D.C., and NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Association, all of the European countries. Now, when I think of drones, those cute little stupid pieces of plastic, well, they can put a bomb on there and kill one or more people if they're close enough. But the larger drones, they're inexpensive. Absolutely inexpensive, and they can take out buildings. They are very inexpensive, very deadly. And Ukraine just attacked Moscow. from the moment World War II ended, all the way to the end of the Trump presidency, no country anywhere, including Japan, China, Europe, the United States, no country has ever dared send explosives in the form of a drone or a rocket into Russia, much less Moscow. Let me ask you this question. If the people in jolly old England were witness to Russia sending a drone and dropping some bombs on Downing Street, where the Prime Minister lives, or on Buckingham Palace, where the royal asswipes live, or how about this? They send drones and they take out buildings in Washington, D.C. Right? You've got 1600, the White House. You've got, well, Congress. And then at the other end of that, you've got the Abraham Lincoln Memorial. You've got the Washington Monument. What if, folks, Russia launched massive drone strikes on Washington, D.C. and Downing Street in England? Would we, as the people, expect to see retaliation of a massive scale? Would we say, look, you're just asking for nuclear war? This is a huge World War III escalation, folks. It is the top story of the day. While everyone's worried about Camel Toes and her lying, Twinkle Toes Timmy Walls, and since I made up that name, he has been dancing and prancing around like a little fruity light in the loafers fairy, literally. He makes Richard Simmons look masculine. We're supposed to be worried about those people while Ukraine is doing this. And while Israel, folks, is going to go into Lebanon next. They just announced, King Bibi did, that Lebanon is next. Now, while I understand that Israel doesn't get along real well with terrorist nations, and terrorist nations love to kill Israelis, I understand the need for self-defense, but this is not going to help the worldwide, shall we say, violent situation with nations. Folks, Israel could be taken out with just a couple of bombs. And because of that, I know that they're going to be exceptionally sensitive. Ukraine, Zelensky's doing exactly as he's told. He is earning those billions of dollars that he has laundered and put in his secret, private, numbered bank accounts so he can live somewhere else on the planet. And if I ever see the little bastard, there'll be some trouble. It's bad enough knowing that 90 Proof Nancy has property down here in Florida. It is going to get ugly, folks, because these people want World War III and they believe they can win a nuclear war. Russia has stated it's only going to take half a dozen nuclear bombs to obliterate and send Europe back to the Stone Ages. I'm glad they think it only is going to take 6, because 600 is a much worse situation. Make sure you have potassium iodide tablets, folks. These people are complete and total fucking morons. They are. I mean, folks, the Soviet Union collapsed. They took a lot of those bombs and they converted the enriched uranium. They blended it down and made it into, well, nuclear fuel rods. But now, oh yeah, they still have more than the United States. It's going to get crazy, folks. It's going to get crazy. The hatred here in this country is huge. It's going to get crazy. Now, you remember Eric Holder? He was the Attorney General for Barack Hussein Barry Soetoro Obama. Once again, don't forget to get your questions down below. Put them in all caps so I can find them. Eric Holder, former Attorney General for Barack Obama, refused to make any prosecutions of Democrats. that I am ever aware of. But his most infamous act was to send guns down to drug lords in Mexico so that he could blame Americans like you and me for supplying the drug cartels with guns. They called this Operation Fast and Furious. And those same guns that Eric Holder sent down there, those same guns came back and killed Americans. Eric Holder was never held accountable. He was never charged with a crime. He was never impeached. He was never censored. Nothing. Eric Holder is a giant communist piece of shit, by the way. But he was confronted by Jack Posobiec. I can never say his name right. That's right. Jack caught up with him. He is one of the more aggressive actual investigative reporters. He ran down Eric Holder and he confronted him about why he thought Tim Walz would be a great vice presidential candidate. He said, hey, why didn't you properly vet this guy? Right? Drunk driving on his record, allegedly guzzling too much horse semen. What? Right? He allowed Minnesota to burn during the St. George Floyd riots, which started in his state that he is governor of. And to top it all off, he has been pretending to be a command sergeant major and combat veteran for over 20 years. And he's never been charged with the crime of stolen valor. So what was Eric Holder's response? Well, right. So Mr. Reporter Posobiec asked Eric, the scumbag douche Holder, about vetting Walz and his stolen valor. And so instead of answering the question, Holder screamed at the reporter, fuck you. You know you're a fool, okay? Oh, that's how it works? You see, folks, there is no mending the fences. There's no fixing anything. Democrats are discovering, some Democrats and some Democrat officials even, and some Democrat elected politicians are realizing that their party is the party of hatred, destruction, and evil. And they're being treated nicely by Trump supporters and Republicans. They're like, hey, you guys are all right. Well, that's not going to fix anything, folks. You can't get along with them. Sure, you might want to be nice to them, but remember, as soon as you turn your back on them, they will put a knife in you or a bullet. Don't fall for it, folks. In fact, I encourage more cussing from both sides. I want to hear Republicans cussing out the Democrats as much as any Democrat cusses us out or cusses out Trump or cusses out the media, right? Democrats, socialists are evil and they are now communist. They've taken the mask off, folks. They're communists. They deserve zero respect, zero good behavior from any of us. They certainly aren't treating us well, are they? They're screwing us over, stealing our tax money and giving it away to other countries and illegal invaders. They deserve scorn and to be derided constantly. And I pray for the day when they can be held accountable and brought up on charges of being communists and traitors. There's no reason why those charges can't be brought to them. Unbelievable. People are continuing to die. Suspected, suspicious, coincidental, Jim Jones juice. I want to thank Darcy T for this one. Another person has died, an avid surfer, which requires you to be in really, really good shape. Andrew Blousechild died from a heart attack. Famous surfer, dead. Unbelievable, folks. No, wait a minute. Believe it. Just believe it. It's coming. By the way, are you getting your questions in? Let me check over here real quick into the comment section. Let's see here. Well, I'm thinking we're going to have some good stuff. All right. Questions all in caps right now down below. Down below. That way I can find them. And I'll scroll through them and we'll talk about what you want to talk about in the second half of the show. I'm going to do my monologue, but we will get to the inner circle. And if you're on the preparedmind.club, you're in the inner circle. We need you there. Now, the media, folks, it's interesting. Even the mainstream media is starting to scratch their heads, question the narrative, look around. They're completely dumbfounded that people are still, right, trying to go against their grain. For example, on CNN today, one of the panelists, they had a panel discussion, where they get 4 or 5 yahoos up there. One of them dropped a fact bomb, a big one, on a CNN panel. And they were completely dumbfounded. They didn't know what to say. This panelist said, well, I'm telling you, you and I know Democrats are in charge. He says, quote, Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years, and somehow it's still all Trump's fault. That caused an incredible reaction, gasps, horror, and shock. Well, here's the deal, right? Every now and then, these reporters are going to, wait a minute, this is bullshit, right? It's almost like the hypocrisy, the gaslighting, the lies are just so outrageous that even they're like, I can't keep doing this, right? Why are we continuing to blame Trump? 12 of the last 16 years have been under Democrats, and look at where we're at. Yeah, folks, expect more. Expect more craziness. Oh, and speaking of that, if you remember James O'Keefe from Project Veritas, well, he's still out there and he's still doing what James O'Keefe does, and that's going undercover and letting Democrats tell him, whether they're in medicine, big tech, government, the military-industrial complex, it doesn't matter. He meets up with people who are on the inside that have authority, and they just spill their guts to him and tell him all kinds of stupid. Well, guess what? James O'Keefe is going to the DNC, the Democrat National Convention. And he's going there, folks, dressed like a total left-wing asshat, complete with COVID mask. He says he's going to release a video tomorrow. Stay tuned. I can't imagine the thoughts that are going to be expressed, thinking they're safe. Oh, by the way, another intelligent American found himself an illegal alien. And he thought he would take this illegal alien to the Democrat National Convention, right? He's like, hey, they need more people in there. They don't have enough people in their convention. It looks like the end of a soup line at a homeless shelter. There's just some people milling around, a couple of people paying attention, a lot of people sleeping in their chairs. Anyways, they took this illegal alien to the DNC and said, we need to come in. We want to be voters for Kamala. And they said, no, you have to show your ID. That's right. Show your ID. Well, he's an illegal alien. He doesn't have ID. Well, he can't come in. Well, we want to get in, but this giant wall is in the way. Well, I thought walls were racist, but no, they're good now. In fact, there are a lot of people, including those who are showing up on mainstream media, calling out Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party and Obama and Clinton and the rest of them and Nancy Pelosi, calling them a bunch of hypocrites because for their safety and their security, they pulled out all the stops in Chicago. Unlike during 2020, when the good people of Chicago were left on their own, no police protection, none whatsoever, as rioters, gangs, Black Lives Matter, terrorists went around burning, looting, and murdering. and they didn't get any protection. But the truly important people, both white and black, they're certain they surely got all the protection they could handle with gates and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of police, National Guard brought out. And reports have come out that while the left-wing lunatics are outside protesting, they haven't gotten overly crazy, but it sure would be great to see them get overly crazy and stampede in and take over the Democrat National Convention. That would be great. A couple of pro-Palestinians tried unfurling a flag, blaming Kamala and telling her, she's wrong. Oh, they got rid of that. No free speech at a Democrat National Convention. No. The only message allowed there is the one that's approved. So there is no free speech, even if you're a Democrat. But yeah, the reports that come out, they're eating like kings and queens in there. They're feasting and gorging themselves on the world's best food, all at the expense of Chicago. Chicago sold its soul to the Democrat Party way back. We're talking way back when the dailies ran everything. Way back even before John F. Kennedy was president. That town is an incredibly corrupt and stinking sack of shit. But here we are, folks. 2024, and it's not going to get a whole lot better. Now, I've been talking about some journalists. I've been talking about left-wing journalists and right-wing journalists. If we want to call them right-wing. How about freedom-oriented journalists? Well, Ben Bergquam, if you know who he is, he wanted to rescue an American flag, folks. Because why? Well, because it was being burned by an Antifa communist and all his thug buddies in Chicago, outside the Democrat National Convention. Anyways, Ben Bergquam tried saving the flag. And he ended up getting threatened and assaulted by Antifa. Where were the police? Oh, just a few feet away. And they did nothing. Folks, remember, if the police don't jump right in and start making it right, they're not on your side. They may as well be putting on a keffiyeh and a frickin' Palestinian flag on their chest. It is patriotism first, America first. That's it. There is no alternative. There is no compromise. Antifa, BLM, and all the Palestinian type supporters, they deserve absolute 100% deportation. Not for 3 months, not for 6 months. Fuck it. Exile them from the country. You want to be a communist? Go to a communist country. Here's a plane ticket. You want to be a terrorist? You want Sharia law? Go to a Sharia law country. You're out. You're done. Absolutely done. Media has picked sides, folks. Depending on the jurisdiction you're in, the police or the sheriffs, they're all picking their sides. Everyone knows what side they're on. Right now, we're playing this game. You know what the game is? Pretend like the Constitution matters. Pretend like government is impartial and fair. Pretend like justice is available. Pretend like everything is just fine. Well, right now, the Biden-Harris administration is in big trouble. Why? Because they faked the numbers. What numbers now? Oh, the employment reports. Turns out that this country has lost 1 million more jobs. There was the huge correction on the jobs report. They've been lying about it, excessively lying about it. So they did a correction, the government did. And they corrected the unemployment to reflect where it truly is, or what they were allowing to at least be reported. And it was the biggest single correction in 15 years. Who else did something even bigger than that? Obama, lying about jobs back during his administration. This is what they do, folks. They destroy everything. They're anti-American scum. And you want to hear something more? The Harris-Biden Department of Energy has an official, and she is a complete idiot. The last time we heard about the Department of Energy and Nuclear Energy, we had a bald-headed flaggot who wears bright red lipstick and dresses and is a pup handler working in the White House administration for Biden and Harris and Biden. That clown was arrested twice for grand theft of, well, other people's property. So now we have this fucking idiot. And you know what she wants? She's calling for the, quote, queering of nuclear weapons. Queering of nuclear weapons. Everything, folks, is about queering it up. This dumb broad's name, by the way, is Sneha Nair. What kind of fucking name is that? Sneha Nair was appointed by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden as a special assistant at the Nuclear Security Administration back in February of this year. She was appointed there. She was put there. And she has something that she's been working on for several months. Well, she wants to, get this, eradicate white supremacy. What the fuck does that have to do with nuclear security? What does that have to do with national security and national nuclear security? Eradicate white supremacy. Well, the way she wants to do it is by queering nuclear weapons. Right? That's going to help protect the nuclear energy facilities in the United States of America. How is queering nuclear what the I mean, literally, folks, this is how she, Sneha Nair, describes it. Finally, queer theory informs the struggle for nuclear justice and disarmament. Queer theory helps to shift the perception of nuclear weapons as instruments for security. Nuclear weapons are instruments for national defense and national security. It's really simple. You bomb us with nukes, we bomb you with nukes. Don't bomb anyone with nukes. It's kind of a Captain Obvious National Security 101. But she wants to bring queer theory into this. And the fucking language these perverted idiots use. Queer theory informs the struggle for nuclear justice and disarmament. Informs it? We don't need a theory to inform us. And once again, queer theory is not practice. It's not proven. It's just a fucking theory of queering everything. Seriously, the term queer or some other flaggity term is being used in the same sentence as something as important as nuclear weapons and national security. That's how retarded these people are. That's how communist these people are. They would, we need nuclear justice. We need nuclear disarmament at a time like now with little queer boy in Ukraine sending explosive drones into Moscow. Now we need to trigger and show, well, Beijing and North Korea and Moscow that the United States is ready to get queered. Getting queered, folks, is butt fucked. They want us butt fucked. That is exactly what Washington, D.C. and these Democrats want. They are sick in the fucking head, and they need to be called out on it. Oh, that's right. We don't have a mainstream media. What we have is, well, me and you. We have freedom media, patriot media, veteran media, and that's all we can do is talk about it here and hope and pray that people are allowed to come online and hear it. The war, folks, has started. The big battles are yet to come. The huge penalties are yet to be given. That's why you need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and your own defense. Because we know the police won't save you. You want to try and save an American flag? You're going to get your ass beat by Palestinian terrorists and Antifa commies. Police won't step up and help you. They're only there to protect Commie Harris. Good God. All right, let's do this, folks. It is time to go to the inner circle. And I want to take and hear your questions. I'll get into the comments and see what it is you have to say. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can be at the preparedmind.club, and you can be here live Monday through Friday. You can leave questions. Leave questions in all caps, please. Let's get to them. All right, I'm going to go right down the list, folks. And I also have more stuff to talk about, but you guys are important. Let's do it. It is name redacted, and he says Obama should only be referred to by last name for clarity. Using his first fake made-up name accepts his bullshit illusion of self. Fuck you, Barry Soetoro. Yeah, well, he's Barry Soetoro. He's a communist. He was raised by Marxist communists. He was educated as a Marxist communist. His track record is one of a Marxist communist doing an internal takeover of a country, the United States of America. That is precisely what he is. I will call him every damn name in the book, though, name redacted. He should be referred to, and I wish I could refer to him, name redacted, as traitor, convicted traitor Obama. But he is Soetoro. And that's why I add that he operated under an assumed name, an alias. That's why I call him Barack Hussein Barry Soetoro Obama. He is an absolute piece of shit. He is. He and his husband are awful, awful people. Hope and change. Yeah, he did quite a bit to this country, folks. I guess he would be proud. And I'm sure he's going to go down in the annals of communist failure, ultimately. Are you prepared for what these people are going to do? Right? His bullshit illusion. Folks, Barry Soetoro was a cocaine addict. Barry Soetoro lied about where he was born, produced a birth certificate that was clearly and easily distinguished as a fake, a fraud, and a forgery, all of which are crimes, by the way. Possession and use of a falsified government document, a birth certificate, is a crime. It's a felony. Turning that in and claiming you have the proper, shall we say, qualifications to be a president for the United States of America, that's a lie. He should be tried for his crimes. Not going to happen, though, folks. Not going to happen. Let's move on, if we shall. Remember, get your questions in all caps. Makes them easier for me to find. We're going to step up now to Badass Diving Frog. And he says, John, CERN, which is the Large Hadron Collider, where they do some incredible physics testing, and they do some incredible satanic, shall we say, rituals. CERN says they have created a black hole and that they can control it. A scientist there says he's not afraid of the experiments, but the outcome. CERN, we'll never get a straight answer out of them, folks. Kind of like NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA also stands for not another, right? Never a straight answer. Never a straight answer. CERN is not going to tell us what they're doing. And if they do, they're just going to put a bunch of scientific garbly goop on there. Folks, and science is now polluted. It has been perverted with politics. I believe it was Neil Dumbass Tyson, who has been making arguments about gender, that the science that defines gender the XX or XY chromosome, that science isn't a science. No, it's what people say they are. These people are retarded, folks. No respect. No, they haven't earned it. All they have earned is my scorn. That's it. That's what they deserve. Anyways, CERN, black holes, the boson particle, the Big Bang. The theory is proved because they've discovered the God particle. They're opening up interdimensional portals, according to some, black holes to others. Could be the same thing. Well, a black hole. What is a black hole, folks? I find it really hard to believe that CERN has a black hole, because black hole basically is incredibly dense material, so dense that all matter around it is sucked in, and it creates and enlarges the black hole. If they create a black hole, how are they going to stop it? Literally. How are they going to stop it from continuing to magnify itself? Anyways, it just seems ridiculous. What they're really up to, I don't know. A lot of people believe they're bringing other life forms out through other dimensions. Some would think of them as demons, evil spirits, because they're coming here and they're not happy and they're not nice. It's incredible. I guess it's the outcome, and we'll find out what it's all about. Let's go a little further and back here. Once again, there we go. Name redacted says, I hear no one anywhere asking about where Build Back Better went. Oh, it's still out there. It is still out there. As discussed, the disgusting unemployment numbers were corrected, and they're far, far, far worse than previously reported. And it would be nice if it was true. But the media is saying, well, there's an investigation into Kamala Harris and Joe Biden over this. No, there's no investigation. They're not going to do anything to them. They're just bureaucratic numbers. They're just sound bites for the asinine idiots out on the street. That's all they are. But Build Back Better? Oh, well, it's like a miniature black hole. It just ate itself. There's no building, right? Nothing's better. The only thing that has gotten bigger is the LGBTQIA plus MAPs movement. That's gotten bigger. Oh, and also the number of illegal immigrants, that's gotten bigger, but I wouldn't call it better. It is going to continue, folks. The beatings will continue until morale is improved. Does anyone remember that one? Name redacted says, most people still don't know or understand who Eric the Handyman Holder was and is. Well, yeah, he's a rather mysterious person. I don't think he was vetted properly by the U.S. Senate when he was allowed to become the Attorney General. He is a sack of shit. He is a liar. He is a closet fruitcake. And he is an anti-American scumbag who's responsible for the death of Americans who were killed with the guns that Eric Holder gave to drug dealers. He's a piece of shit. Oh, but he works for Obama. And since they're both black, we have to give him a pass. It's stupid. Enough of the race shit. Enough of the race shit. Today I met 3 great dudes who are electricians on a job I was running. They were black. Did I give a shit? No. Because they were hardworking, non-complaining, got the job done, did it right, got it done fast, and were just downright good guys. None of this, there's no color until you start going up north, going into Democrat cities, and putting up with this racist bullshit. Tired of it. I don't know what this is. If you have to defend against a bear attack, you better get big. No, don't get big, get fast. And you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun everyone else trying to outrun the bear. Now, with respect to the media, name redacted is all over the fucking comment section. You have no hope of breaking free from the matrix if you get your info from it. In other words, mainstream media, it's filling your head with sewage. They'll give you 10% fact, truth, and 90% lies. They won't give you news. They won't tell you what's really going on. They'll tell you what they want you to know and give you enough information so you believe them. But if you looked outside and went, build back better, how is that helping? If you go shopping at the grocery store and you're like, how is build back better helping here? It's not. When you pay your taxes, you feel the matrix, it bites you in the ass, and you're like, how is this building anything better? Right? Don't listen to the news. Unbelievable. Okay. Let's find some more thoughts. Chin Music says, nuking your bunghole. What? Wait a minute. Well, I was going to say, nuking your bunghole, huh? Queering your nukes. You know, the next thing we're going to hear about Chin Music, yeah, they want to queer the nukes. That's what the Democrats want to do. They want to queering the nukes. Next thing you know is Paul Pelosi is going to have a tactical nuke in his ass and he's going to blame Trump for it. That's what's coming. Hang on to your hat, man. Hang on to your hat. If you thought it was stupid, it's just gonna get worse. All right. Nuking your bunghole. Let's go. Chinny wants to bring this up. Barry, the cool smoking left-handed fairy, Barry Soetoro. Yeah, he smokes cigarettes. I don't think we've had a president smoke cigarettes. It just never looked cool, but smoking the cools. And he's left-handed. And folks, I'm ambidextrous. Right? I right, shoot, punch, kick, fight, right and left-handed, hammer, name it. But Barry, you just watch the guy and he's a fruitcake. I hate Barry Soetoro. All right, let's move on to something here. This is we got some good stuff here. Chin Music says, John, did you see the Democrat Women's Caucus attempt the national anthem? I thought they were called the oh fuck, I gotta finish reading what you're. He says they didn't even know the fucking words and it sounded like someone was boiling a cat. I thought it actually was the National Cat Ladies Choir. That's who I thought it really was. I couldn't listen to it. Number one, yeah, it didn't sound like they knew the words. Number two, it didn't even sound like English. Number three, it did sound like someone had a pipe organ stuffed full of cats. It is awful. And you know what? They did it that way on purpose. That right there was the most patriotic thing the Democrats could possibly do, was attempt the national anthem and fuck it completely up. Enrico Palazzo from The Naked Gun wouldn't just be upset. He would go and kill himself. He really would. If everyone remembers Enrico Palazzo. Yeah, just awful. God, these people are hideous, anti-American, anti-freedom, anti-constitutional, period. Backdoor Barry. Oh, they had Michelle Obama out there. Oh, you bet they did. She said, well, the White House, the presidency might be a black job. We've already had a black president, right? Barry Soetoro was in there. We already had that. We're still playing that game, though, still playing the race card. Got to play the race card, except Kamala isn't black. Her vice president is light in the loafers. I guess he'll be our first openly LGBTQ person. He also has a sort of affinity for children, kind of like Joe Biden. I think they brought on Twinkle Toes Tampon Timmy because he is a queer. He is an LGBT queer to the max. His prancing, his dancing. And I'm sure they're paying him extra for that. They're like, dude, we need you to act queer as fuck. So you appeal to all the left-wingers out there. And, here's a question I need to ask all you guys, though. Oh, fuck. Wait till I get to this next comment. Shit, now I just remembered what I was going to say. You guys, this is why I need Uman here. These people are awful on the left. They're so stupid they don't realize they're destroying not only the country, but themselves. Let us move on back into... Yes, you got it. They're big and phallic, name redacted. Chin Music says this. Remember, John, I'm a golf instructor. And when I saw Barry's swing, his golf swing, folks, I knew he was gay. Unfortunately, sadly for them, and fortunately and good for us, it becomes evident. Something about having a nuclear missile in your ass makes you act differently, talk differently. Yeah, I can tell you what, that might be LGBTQ. What do they call that? When you see someone profiling, that's LGB profiling. Stop it, right? Okay. Oh, here we've got Della Jones checking in, and she says, howdy, John, and the chat, where is Uman? Uman gave me a call right before the show, about half an hour before, and said he just was not going to make it back. Of course, as many of you know, he lives in the outskirts of Chicago, has business in the outskirts of Chicago. He has not been nuked. He has not been attacked. Let me just let you know that the Uman, shall we say, prepping destruction mobile is an F-650. He does not fuck around. That dude has a serious truck. Anyways, thank you, Della Jones. He'll be back, though. There's nothing wrong with him. He's not sick. He hasn't been arrested, anything bad like that. Thank you very much, Della. Glad to meet you. And, folks, I've got more stuff I want to talk about. More crazy shit going on. You can get your comments over here on the screen. I'll keep an eye out for them. Yes, I will. But one of my favorite people of all time, just kidding, Rob Reiner, left-wing communist, Hollywood actor and director, etc. He has decided that he is going to stand up for the anti-Israel, pro-terrorist, radical burn, loot, and murder protesters at the Democrat National Convention. But back in 2010, he wanted to call Republicans who were in the Tea Party, he called them Nazis. The hypocrisy is outrageous, and it's going to continue as we get closer to the election. And at some point, I think the balloon's going to go up and the violence is going to hit. It's going to hit. Yes, indeed. Now, into this. Race is being played. The race card is being absolutely played by the Democrats. And to some extent, the race card is being played by black Republicans and black Trump supporters. And I find it absolutely refreshing and hilarious. A reporter went by an SUV that was had a black family in it. Bunch of cute little kids and stuff jumping around in the back, and the windows were all open. They asked family members who they wanted to win, who they were voting for, and they were all screaming Trump. Right? We're getting older men, younger men that are black, older women, younger women that are black, and they are all over social media getting it out there. They've had it with this Democrat plantation bullshit. They want freedom, liberty, and the Constitution. They want justice and equality. And Trump, surprising to many people, has always been a, shall we say, unifying figure, a true unifying figure, who is extremely charitable and generous and has helped out all sorts of families and also veterans who have been blown to pieces, right? The Democrats tried saying Trump was ashamed to be filmed with people who were injured in war. Anyways, it's just rather disgusting who these leftists are. But they have absolutely made this. Thank you very much. I'll leave this up here for you. Charlotte Nader just wrote this. The race card is being played in a positive way, I think, with Trump, because what the Trump supporters in the black community are saying is they want America to do well. They want justice. They want things cleaned up, and they see the Republican way, they see the patriotic way as fixing their problems, whereas the Democrats just want to exacerbate the problems. Now, a former NBA overall draft pick, number 1, right? This guy's name was Kwame Brown. He is calling the black celebrities out there who are shaming voters, he's calling them gatekeepers, because these black celebrities want Kamala Harris supported solely based on her race, her supposed race. And this is what he has to say. I think this is really what is striking a chord, not just with blacks or Hispanics or Asians or Native Americans or white people. It's everybody. And even wealthy people that I run into in business, they're not happy with the inflation because it's affecting their income in other ways. The trickle down, or trickle up, if you wish, effect is their businesses, their incomes, their retirements, their investments are doing poorly because everything is coming down, down, down with the Build Back Better economy, because it's not getting built back better. So this is what Kwame Brown says. Kamala's skin color ain't going to pay for our groceries. And I thought, well, he just nailed it, right? That's where we all live. We drive different cars. We have different jobs. But we all go shopping for food one way or the other. And you feel it. You notice it. Folks, I was just walking through the meat department the other day. Fucking ribeye steak, $24 a pound. I just kept on walking, just fucking keep pushing the cart. Unbelievable. Just okay. Let's go with this one. Name redacted says, I think they have succeeded in making Big Orange a man of the people, not the former mogul. Yeah, they really have. They've attempted to smear Trump by attacking him, trying to prosecute him. They've tried making him into this rich, evil, bad guy, and instead they've exposed him as being real. Bullet, he bleeds red, just like all of us, regardless of color. Right? He's being prosecuted. He's being persecuted unjustly, and the justice system is not working. And everybody who's ever had a bad run-in with the law, the fucking police, a judge, the DMV, the IRS, name your government bureaucracy, we're like, yeah, now Trump understands. He now feels it. The city of New York, the state of New York going after him. Just, yeah, now he knows. Now he knows. If there was ever any doubt, he knows it now. It's the end of the show, the last 5 minutes. I want to get into the news feeds that I have scrolling through my phone. And just in the last hour, since you and I started talking, let's see what has happened. I keep hoping that, something really nasty happens at the DNC, at the Democrat National Convention. Not because I'm a mean person. Damn you, chin music. Instead of quoting Sun Tzu, he decides to quote Sun Millie. That would be General Sun Millie. When battling your enemy, confuse him by retreating and leaving all of your shit behind. That's exactly what they did in Afghanistan, to the tune of $85 billion worth of functional military shit. Now let's get back into the news. Stop making me laugh, Chin. All right. Okay, what's up? What has happened just since we started the show? Oh, Arizona voter registration forms are being created so they can get illegal aliens in there. Against the law, they don't care. No ID required, vote here. Well, the Attorney General Ken Paxton of Texas is going, and he's cracking down on voter fraud, and he's investigating all the reports of illegally registered non-citizens in Texas, and whoever registers them needs to be arrested, including the person. They need to find the address, of course, go to the address, and just start arresting people. Crazy business, folks. Crazy business. I'm going to leave it at that. It has been one hell of a week, and it's only Wednesday. It is hump day, folks. It's hump day. The attack is against you. It's against America. It's against our nation. It's against our life. This is why we're preppers. And if you love your country, then you're a patriot, and you should stand up for it. There is no other country that's going to accept you or me. I don't care if you're white or black or brown or pick a fucking color. It doesn't matter. No other country will let us in. Well, actually, I take that back. Putin is giving refuge to people who want to get out of the corrupt, evil, perverted, twisted West. I'm not going to accept that. This is my country, and I'm going to stay here and fight for it to the death if need be. Do not want to live in Russia, folks. Fucking cold. Anyways, the point is that the people are trying to destroy America, Canada, Australia, Mexico, Central America, South America, all of Europe, Australia. They're trying to destroy everything so that they can have a wealth transfer moment. Now, Ukraine, it's joined that circus. It is anti-Christian. It is anti-life. It is anti-justice. It is anti-decency, right? They've said, well, we got to get rid of the Russian Orthodox Church, which is the same as the Eastern Orthodox Church. It's the same as the Ukraine Orthodox Church, because they're saying that, well, national security comes before religious freedom. I did not know that churches are a threat to government. Folks, Ukraine is committing genocide against itself. Zelensky is causing genocide. And guess what? I was surprised to hear this, that other political analysts are now calling it genocide. That Ukraine is having so many of his men killed. Thousands, tens of thousands, and hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian men are being slaughtered in this war to enrich the oligarchs in Davos, Switzerland, the World Economic Forum, the rich aristocrats throughout Europe and America and Canada. They're there for themselves. They are there for themselves. All right, everyone. I want to thank you for the great comments, the jokes, the humor, and also for getting prepared and getting active locally in politics. Go to your voter location, your voting location. Sign up with the Republican Party in your area and tell them you want to volunteer on Election Day. Take part in it. Make sure fraud doesn't happen, because it's our country, folks. We're not stealing it from ourselves. We're stopping others from stealing it from us. God bless America. Chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you're a prepper? I'll see you all very, very soon, like zero dark tomorrow.